Special thank you to our 2018 marquee partners, Cincinnati Bell, Cintas, Kingsgate, Toyota, and UC Health. FC Cincinnati fans, please help us welcome tonight's officials. Rosendo Mendoza, Benjamin Hall Volpenheim, James Dooley, and Luke Sabota. And now for tonight's starting lineups. First for the visiting Charleston Battery. In goal, number 1, Joe Kuzminski. A defender, number 3, Skylar Thomas. A defender, number 4, Taylor Mueller. A defender, number 7, O'Brien Woodbine. A midfielder, number 8, Nabiel Hatshaw. A forward, number 10, Atula Guerra. A midfielder, number 12, Vincenzo Candela. A defender, number 14, Jared Van Schaik. A forward, number 15, Gordon Wild.
5 months and 1 day ago, FC Cincinnati and Charleston opened the 2018 USL season. Blake Smith's strike in the 18th minute was the difference en route to the orange and blue victory. Tonight, they meet again in a battle of the league's hottest clubs.
Balmy Saturday night in the Queen City will host opportunity number 24 in 2018 for the orange and blue. We take a look at the up-to-the-moment standings in the USL Eastern Conference. FC Cincinnati atop and first. There's Charleston in third place. And no question tonight, a 6-point match. Good evening and welcome to Nippert Stadium on the campus of the University of Cincinnati. Tom Glitter, thrilled to be alongside my broadcast partner and All-American Kevin McCloskey as we get you set for this match. It's been a rivalry since 2016 between these two clubs. First place versus third place, the two hottest teams in the USL. Do you need anything else to be excited for tonight?
No, without a doubt, the biggest game of the season here at Nippert Stadium so far. Obviously, like you said, first and third coming into battle tonight. Two teams that know each other fairly well, but they've not played in 5 months too, so a little bit different, but going to be an interesting contest.
Good news for Alan Koch tonight. Emery Welshman is back from suspension and right into the starting 11. You're going to see Taylor Mueller is the guy who has to try to keep him quiet.
I think the big thing to keep in mind here too is the difference in systems that you're going to see too. Charleston are going to play in a 3-4-3, so 3 at the back. FC Cincinnati are going to play 4-2-3-1. So Emery Welshman is going to be a target player, lone number 9, playing against Taylor Mueller. It's going to be an interesting 1-versus-1 battle.
Well, it's been 834 minutes since FC Cincinnati trailed a match. Even better for Charleston, 990. Who strikes first tonight? Well, we'll find out. We'll also give you the starting 11 and check in with the birthday girl, Lindsay Patterson, when we return. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer. Tom Glitter and Kevin McCloskey back with you at Nippert Stadium, where FC Cincinnati and Charleston have taken the pitch for their 7th all-time meeting, the second in 2018.
2018. Charleston leads the all-time series 3-1-2 and has never lost here at Nippert Stadium. Time to take a look at tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. First for the Orange and Blue and head coach Alan Koch back to the 4-2-3-1. Emery Welshman into the starting 11 will play up top. Danny Koenig is out. We'll talk more about that here in a moment. And the back line, including the goalkeeper, Spencer Ritchie, remains the same after the clean sheet on Sunday. At the other end for Charleston, 11-3-10 on the season, trailing FC Cincinnati by 5 points in the standings, 3-4-3 for 14th year head coach Mike Anheuser. Altula Guerra, the very talented scorer, 12 goals on the season, in contention for the Golden Boot, will play up top for Charleston. The third member of our broadcast team is Lindsay Patterson. She's celebrating her birthday with us tonight. Happy birthday. What do you know?
Thank you, guys. FC Cincinnati looking to continue that lucky number 13 unbeaten streak against Charleston here tonight. As you mentioned, Emery Welshman back out there in the lineup for serving that 3-game suspension. I asked Alan Koch at training if Emery was eager to get back out there. He said he was spending extra time after training the last 3 weeks getting those extra reps to stay fit for the pitch tonight.
Great to see Emery out there making his 10th start of the season. Tonight's injury report is brought to you by Levy Law, where they turn your crash into cash. Danny Koenig picked up a groin injury this week in training, and Richie Ryan remains out with his leg injury. Tonight's match official is Rosendo Mendoza, and it's brought to you by Kingsgate Transportation. He hands the ball to Emery Welshman, looks over to the sideline, and we are set to go. The final of 6 straight USL matches here at Nippert Stadium for FC Cincinnati. The Orange and Blue in their primary kits today with the orange and blue stripes. Charleston in their white tops, black shorts, and white socks. We are underway. FC Cincinnati will work right to left here in the first half. Ritchie off the pass from Lasso, sends it out into the midfield for Spencer Ritchie. This is his 7th start of the year. FC Cincinnati 5-1-0 this season when he starts for the Orange and Blue. Charleston trying to feed it forward to Guerra, can't connect. Hoyt with his right foot sends it down the touchline in the direction of Welshman. It's headed away, and FC Cincinnati will throw it in right on the cusp of the attacking third.
Another great night at Nippert Stadium, Tommy. The biggest game so far this season between both top teams in the top third, or the top 3 of the table. Charleston against FC Cincinnati.
Nazmi Al-Badawi working right side. Emery Welshman comes over to poke it away. Kenny Walker picks it up and gives it back to Nazmi just outside of the 18. Nazmi looking for a service. It is booted away by Neville Hackshaw, the midfielder out of Trinidad. And we'll have an early corner kick and an opportunity for Cincinnati.
That's one of those things. We've seen this the last few games at Nippert Stadium as well. FC Cincinnati have looked very effective on set pieces. Corner kicks. Big Paddy Barrett's coming up from the back here. A player that's very dangerous. Him and Forrest Lasso. We've seen this setup before, just inside of the front post. Very hard for the goalkeeper.
All of tonight's corner kicks are brought to you by the Levy Law offices, where they turn your crash into cash. A bit of chaos there inside of that 6-yard area, as we have seen since FC Cincinnati changed things up for their set pieces.
I think it's very tough. I was just talking about Joe Kaminski, the goalkeeper, really being screened in front. Forrest Lasso's just in front of him. Fatai Alashe. The referee's coming in, just making sure that he understands, that the players understand, hey, got to be careful with the pushing and shoving.
Fatai Alashe making his orange and blue debut. First appearance for FC Cincinnati, trying to be a difference maker early. The corner will be taken by Manu Ledesma. Plays it short. Didn't get it probably as well as he had hoped. It didn't find Paddy Barrett. Blake Smith on the preventative coverage, trying to stop a transition opportunity for Charleston the other direction.
Very important tackle from Blake Smith. Just to stop that counter, like you said. Charleston, a team playing in a 3-4-3. They're going to be very dangerous in transition on the counter-attack.
Tonight's broadcast of FC Cincinnati is brought to you in part by U.S. Bank. Alashe knocked it away, got it to Bone, then Charleston won it back quickly, and it'll come to Woodbine on the right side. He'll drop it back. Woodbine working with Hackshaw. Now into the middle, and veteran Taylor Mueller. The defender, 6'2". Charleston to the final third, working left to right. Finding their way down to the attacking end of the pitch for the first time tonight. 4th minute, scoreless. The Bailey is rocking and feeling this playoff-like atmosphere a little bit tonight with 1st versus 3rd in the USL East.
Well, the fans definitely showed up. I think there's been a lot of hype about this game this week, Tommy, from the fan zone for sure. Two teams that are certainly in form. Both teams double-digit as far as unbeaten streaks.
Here comes Higashi into the 18, put it onto the boot of Hoyt. Cleared away by Ledesma to the midfield where Welshman will give chase. Onto the right, Skylar Thomas. Thomas will work it up the right side. To the foot of Anunga. Anunga started the match 5 months and a day ago. It was March 17th. The 2018 season opened. Where else for FC Cincinnati? In Charleston. That's the only place they've ever opened a USL season. And that match, the first time FC Cincinnati ever defeated the Battery. 1-0 thanks to the goal in the 18th minute from Blake Smith. Thomas on the near touch. Gives it in the middle to Mueller. Now over to Hackshaw on the left side.
I talked about the first time they've ever beaten Charleston. I think there's a couple of historical stats that they're trying to break one tonight as well.
Just saw the ball come off the chest of Forrest Lasso. This is his 2nd start this year against his former club. Of course, he scored here at Nippert Stadium for the visitors last season.
This has definitely been a ground that's not really, struck through.
Garrett Higashi got taken down by Paddy Bard. A close call there. Rosendo Mendoza doesn't want to hear the argument from Charleston, and FC Cincinnati gets away without any danger.
So far, Tommy, it's been a pretty open game, really.
Yeah.
Both teams early chances to test the back line. Just talking about that, though, Charleston have come here, always done well. They've never lost at Nippert Stadium.
Ball's played back to the foot of Spencer Ritchie. Had some pressure from Anunga. Justin Hoyt will receive in the midfield and played into the middle to Kenny Walker.
It's interesting seeing Kenny Walker and Fatai Alashe. You talked about him getting his debut tonight. First chance for those two to kind of partner in the midfield and anchor in that position.
Fatai's been training with the club for 2 weeks. Was in the 18 on Sunday night in the 1-0 victory over Penn FC, but did not appear. Certainly excited to be out there tonight. Join me on the radio show on Thursday. I'll tell you more about that conversation in a bit. Walker will switch it onto the left side, and his touch was heavy in the direction of Blake Smith. Right idea, just didn't quite execute.
Good idea, especially a lot of space just in that channel area. Charleston, like I said already, they're playing 3 at the back, 3 central defenders. There's going to be space between that right centre back and that right wing back. If they can exploit that and hit it diagonal early. Kenny just unlucky to execute technically on that.
Of course, Alashe was announced the same day as Fernando Adi, who's in the 18 again, and expect to see him in the second half. Charleston, right outside of the 18, switches it over onto the right to the foot of Woodbine. He'll work on Blake Smith, puts it off his chest, goes out on the end line, and the Battery will have their first corner kick of the evening.
Woodbine's definitely going to a guy that will be involved quite a lot tonight. Obviously Van Schick as well on the left-hand side. 2 wing-backs in this system. Try to create 2v1s with the 2 wide forwards.
Gordon Wild will come over to take the corner kick. FC Cincinnati had the early set piece. Charleston turned them away. Now it's the Orange and Blues' turn to set up their defense. Wild on the service, heavy to the far side of the 18, and as Higashi gave chase, contact called inside of the penalty area, and a foul on Charleston will give a free kick to Spencer Ritchie. Ritchie's 7th start of the year, 1.50 goals against average, 2 clean sheets. His second came Sunday night and earned him this start tonight as Evan Newton continues to get better, rehabbing that hip injury that kept him out on Sunday. This is also the first of 3 matches in 8 days, so we'll see some rotation for Alan Koch and the Orange and Blue over the next week.
See some rotation, but no doubt about it. I mean, there's some hard decisions coming with this too, Tommy. Talked about Fatai Alashe already getting that start in midfield. Great competition in that position. Just talked about Spencer Ritchie and Evan Newton as well. Healthy competition, but the coach still has to make hard decisions. Who gets the nod, who gets a start in it.
Fatai Alashe scored the first ever goal at Avaya Stadium, of course, the home of San Jose, and I asked him about that on the radio show Thursday night when he joined me at Mantaray. He said he didn't even realize it at the time because it was his first career professional goal. So that was his big moment, was scoring his first career professional goal. And then he said a couple days later he was asked, what was it like to score the first goal at Avaya Stadium? He said, wow,
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that was the first Major League Soccer goal in that venue.
It's just a massive moment for any young pro.
Alashe and Adi, the first two signings for FC Cincinnati's Major League Soccer side, after being traded from San Jose and Portland, respectively. Al-Badawi to the final third, leaves it for Bone. Bone will slide it into the middle to Walker. Now to the left, Alashe. Back to Nazmi, on to Corbett. Al-Badawi into the middle. Welshman lost his footing and wasn't in the spot to receive the pass.
Yeah, good idea by Naz. Welshman just a little bit rusty too. You got to remember too, Tommy, he's been out for a 3-game suspension. He's got to knock the rust off a little bit.
Walker right at midfield. To Smith. FC Cincinnati showing good patience here on the build-up.
Okay, just waiting for the the right movement. Players starting to move and trigger off of each other.
Smith into the middle. Off to Nazmi. He'll come wide to Welshman, right at the edge of the 18. Looking far post, and maybe a little bit of rust there on the cross.
That's what I'm just talking about. Just lacking a little bit of quality. However, great to see him back out again. We talked about in the preview this week. His patience, his professionalism, continuing to work hard even through that suspension on the training field.
O'Brien Woodbine, in the meantime, has gone down to the pitch just to the left of midfield.
Just holding the back of his calf there.
And now the medical staff will be called out while he's attended to. Let's take a look at your keys to the match tonight for Alan Koch and FC Cincinnati.
Well, I've already mentioned this. I think, Charleston playing a back three. FC Cincinnati have to be able to exploit that, I think, especially in transition. Being able to counter quickly into those spaces. I think the second thing as well, when you look into central positions, there's going to be a number of advantages for FC Cincinnati. They'll have 3 central players, Fatai Alashe, Kenny Walker, and Nazmi just ahead of it in that triangle against the 2 central players of Candela and Anunga for Charleston. So in that situation, 3 against 2, you've got to make the most of it, especially in possession. And we've seen it already, Tommy. You talked about patient build-up. Fatai Alashe, Kenny Walker doing a great job in those half spaces, just being able to receive it and penetrate forward. So good start.
Talked a lot about that 3-4-3 formation. That was not what Mike Anheuser's team played when these two teams met 5 months and a day ago in Charleston. But his club went on March 31st and lost at New York 5-2. And that forced him to change his tactics a bit. He went to the 3-4-3, and it certainly has worked, as this club currently on an 11-match unbeaten streak, a streak in which they have not trailed for 990 minutes coming in, so now over 1,000 minutes they haven't trailed.
Fantastic form, fantastic stat as well, just about the trailing with minutes. I think tonight what you're going to see is that tactical battle. We talked about the difference in systems. It's really going to be down to who can execute the strategy correctly.
We're going to see a change for Anheuser early, so whatever happened to Woodbine is going to take him out of the match in the 12th minute. Nico Rittmeyer, who has tons of experience, 22 appearances and 10 starts this year, will come on for him, but certainly not what Mike Anheuser wanted early. Alashe with a great ball to Emery Welshman, and it comes off his foot awkwardly. Being told it's a hamstring injury for O'Brien Woodbine.
I talked about O'Brien Woodbine being very involved tonight too in that wing-back position. Rittmeyer coming on though, really like-for-like change. A player that's played as a right forward and as a right wing-back for this Charleston team.
Ledesma dancing with 2 defenders on him, lost the ball, and Manu Ledesma's going into the book. His hand came up high and caught Vincenzo Candela in the face. Bad news for Manu Ledesma. That's his 8th yellow card of the season. He will be suspended Wednesday night when FC Cincinnati plays Atlanta United 2 on the road.
Referee Mendoza's right here. It does catch him. I don't think there's an intent there, Tommy, honestly. It's certainly a sensitive area. I think he smacks the Charleston player. I think it might be Higashi, maybe in the eye.
I'm not sure if that
just holding his nose, I think,
was a mark that was there previously, right there towards the corner of his eye. But Manu Ledesma is going to ask Rosendo Mendoza for a lengthy explanation. Picks up the early booking, and I think that Rosendo Mendoza is saying it's for the open hand to the face of Candela.
One of those, you know, you're turning as a player, an attacking player. You know, your shoulders and arms are going to be swinging as you turn. Like I said, I don't think there was intent. Was there contact? Yes, definitely.
I think it's because he didn't feel it was necessary to swing that arm. He had already used the one arm to get some space, and maybe didn't feel that the second arm swing was necessary.
Here's the thing. If that hits him in the chest,
you're right.
It's not caught, right?
Correct.
If it hits him in the face, it's a different story.
Well, the fans here at Nippert Stadium not happy with the early booking on their side. We are scoreless in the 14th minute. Second meeting this season between these two clubs, and I mentioned it off the top. Charleston has never lost here. Remember 2016? They eliminated FC Cincinnati, an upset in the playoffs to end the Orange and Blues' historic inaugural season. Last year, a draw here. There was also a draw in 2016 in the regular season. Welshman being held up in the midfield by Skylar Thomas. Foul will be called, and FC Cincinnati quickly back into play.
You talk about Charleston just in the history. I mean, listen, Tommy, this is a good squad, but even more impressive club. You know, year in, year out.
Nazmi Al-Badawi on the cross falls into the chest of Kuzminski.
It's a club really that continues to build and grow in the USL. They've been there really from the start.
26 years.
Yeah.
Founded in 1993, and Mike Anheuser has been there for 14. Chance for some history for him tonight. If his club can get a win, it would be his 200th career win as head coach for Charleston. His club will pick it up in the midfield with Candela, who received that hand across the face from Ledesma, pushing it out wide to the left. Higashi drops it into the middle. Anunga over to the right, and Rittmeyer, who just came in. Anunga again, now to Rittmeyer. Bounces off of Alashe. Blake Smith will retreat. Smith with his left foot sends it out into the midfield. Of course, Blake had the game winner back on March 17th in the 18th minute. Stands as his only goal of the season. He's been involved on others with 4 assists this season, but hasn't scored since. Rittmeyer has his pass intercepted by Forrest Lasso. Nico Rittmeyer pushing into the attacking third. Sent across by Gordon Wild. Deflected away by FC Cincinnati, but kept alive by the battery. Here comes Hackshaw. Ledesma came up to disrupt his run and dropped it back to Hoyt. Lasso's touch was a bit heavy, but nobody was there, and then his pass into the midfield is intercepted by his former club. Nazmi giving chase as Higashi trying to get something going. Certainly a fast-paced match thus far, Kevin.
No, it has. It really, you know, I think both teams really have been pretty aggressive, pushing numbers forward.
Alashe was just taken down. Alan Koch is all the way out in midfield, screaming at the fourth official. Felt as though there was an elbow. Let's take a quick look.
Well,
yeah,
we
saw the same thing, right?
Moments ago, yeah, exactly, with Ledesma for the yellow card. Exactly the same thing. Leads with his elbow on his hand. Definitely contact there, just on the left-hand side of Alashe's face. I think Alan has every right to get up and question that fourth official.
If Rosendo Mendoza is going to send a message early and say we're not going to have a physical match tonight, then it has to go both ways.
I think no matter what, it's going to be a physical match. It's whether or not he's willing to hand out all of the cards and really call the game closely with fouls. Both teams pretty physical teams, pretty athletic teams as well. It's definitely going to be an aggressive game.
Bone will drop it back to the foot of Blake Smith, and the cross is picked up by Higashi into the 18. The defenders closed in quickly, and then Bone trailing. Tries to clear it, cannot.
Very important tackle by Kenny Walker, just to stop Charleston in their tracks.
Wild was stuck on the right side and had to retreat to his center backs.
Here's the one thing you just got to look at. Emery Welshman's going to have a tough job as well. He's really playing 1 against 3.
Mando Ledesma with a big steal. Ledesma will send it into the middle, and his pass is intercepted. Welshman was right there, and Mueller did well to stop the scoring opportunity, and then a foul is going to be called on Fatai Alashe.
I'm just going to say, I think Emery Welshman's biggest job is to shadow and shepherd that play in one direction. He does it. Ledesma wins the ball back. Here's the after effect here, which there's a little bit of contact again. Like I said, the referee's going to look for it, Tommy.
Yeah, no question. It's going to be a physical battle here tonight in the Queen City. Alashe is called for the foul. Now when Koch is out again having a conversation with the fourth official. As Mueller will put his right boot into it and send it out across midfield. In the direction of Hoyt, comes off his head. Throw in for Charleston right at the attacking third. Tonight's broadcast of FC Cincinnati is brought to you in part by Frisch's. Hackshaw making his second start of the year against FC Cincinnati. Paddy Barrett tried to knock it away. Physical play there, no whistle. Over to Skylar Thomas. Rittmeyer's pass intercepted by Smith, and then comes off Charleston on the near touchline. Hackshaw leads the team, or at least is tied for the team lead in starts and appearances at 23. Mueller, Hackshaw, and Anunga have all started 23 matches. Altula Guerra has now started his 22nd and 24th for the guys I already mentioned. And it is Guerra's 24th appearance of the season. A consistent lineup for the most part this season for Mike Anheuser. He actually rested many of those guys last Saturday in a 1-0 win against Atlanta United 2. A misplayed ball from Joe Kuzminski and a throw in for FC Cincinnati.
Well, anytime the coach is going to go and play three center backs, is making a statement. You've got Hackshaw, Mueller, and Thomas. Three very athletic, very experienced players as well. Really the backbone of this team.
When you have Mueller in the middle of those three, the 29-year-old
Fantastic
veteran.
Player. Captain of the team too, true leader.
Having another conversation here as Altula Guerra was talking with the match official.
I think
Koch continues to communicate with the officials as well.
I think every fan hopes, Tommy, this game can be open. Create a little bit of flow both ways. Set up for an entertaining game.
Hoyt over to the right. Finds Ledesma. Ledesma dancing and looking for a cross. Plays it short for Hoyt. His ball forward is intercepted. Candela can't control it. Ledesma right at the edge of the 18. Takes a shot, and Manu Ledesma does it again! His 11th goal of the season, and FC Cincinnati strikes first.
How many times do we see this? Individual moments of brilliance from Manuel Ledesma. Tommy, I think we're going to run out of tape by the end of the season here.
The Argentinian sets it up, strikes it, and gives the orange and blue the 1-0 advantage.
Just before this, too, pure hustle and work rate. Gets the ball back, looks to see where the goalkeeper is. Goalkeeper's in a tough position, honestly. He's almost on a 6, out of position. Ledesma sees that. What a wicked bend again, just into the top left-hand corner. Fantastic finish.
Well, Charleston went 1,012 minutes without trailing. That streak comes to an end here at Nippert Stadium. And in the 22nd minute, FC Cincinnati on top.
What awareness as well by Ledesma. Knows exactly where Kaminsky is, the goalkeeper. Sees that he's off his line. You see it, as soon as he wins that ball back, you know he's looking up. Great awareness.
Lasso up the left side in the direction of Welshman. Corbin Bone will knock it forward to Al-Badawi, but it's intercepted, and then Alashe regains control in the midfield. Off the foot of Rittmeyer, throw in for FC Cincinnati.
We talked about the key and really those transitional moments, playing against that back three as well. That's the space just in between the wing back and the centre back, Tommy. Ledesma found it, put extreme pressure on, and what a finish.
Wild trying to switch sides over to the left. His pass gets there. Now into the middle to Guerra, the talented scorer with 12 goals this season. Forrest Lasso sliding in and knock it away. Wild keeps it alive at the corner of the 18. Guerra giving chase with Forrest Lasso on him. It touched FC Cincinnati last. And a corner kick coming for the visitors.
Might have just stayed in for a throw, I think.
You're right. Nope, there'll be a corner kick. Wild will take it. Corner kicks brought to you by the Levy Law Offices, just past the midway point of the first half. Charleston looking for an equalizer. Wild hits it, headed away by Forrest Lasso, the former battery man. Wild back into the 18. Headed straight up into the air by Hackshaw. Comes down to Barrett, trying to clear the penalty area, and finally on the bicycle kick, Welshman does just that. Mueller over to the left, and Hackshaw will push it in that direction. Rittmeyer will play it off his chest and look to cross it. Sends it inside of the 18. Potty Barrett took a boot to the face and goes down right on the penalty spot.
It's considered dangerous play.
I would think so. The ball was cleared away. Bard is face down as Aaron Powell waits to see. Let's have a look at it.
Yeah.
I mean,
pretty strong contact as well. Came up and kicked just with the underside of his boot or his cleat.
Atula Guerra catches Bard in the face. FC Cincinnati's captain for the second consecutive match is up to his feet, and now he's going to ask the question, how can I catch a boot to the face and there not be a booking? I'm not sure what Mendoza thinks caught him.
Rosendo Mendoza, I think, is under a little bit of pressure on the FC Cincinnati players, rightly so. Fair question, Tommy. I've got to ask for consistency.
Allen's asking the exact same question of the fourth official, who he's got to know pretty well here in the first 25-plus minutes. Allen preaches composure, and he'll need that from his club throughout this match. Alashe trying to win it back, tangled up there with Higashi. It bounces to Barrett, who appears to be okay. Back to Ritchie. Spencer Ritchie, the 6'2" goalkeeper from Seattle, Washington.
I'm interested to see how FC Cincinnati react. We've seen them score in the first half here at Nippert. And a lot of times, too, they've kind of taken their foot off the gas after that early goal. This will be a good test to see if they can get in, try to keep Charleston kind of down with it.
Walshman trying to set up the cross, and it's caught by Kuzminski.
I think trying to get that second goal, that's so important, Tommy, when you talk about momentum.
FC Cincinnati, over the course of this 12-match unbeaten streak, 8-0-4. They've scored 2 or more goals in 9 of those 12 games. Foul called near touchline. Corbin Bone immediately puts it back into play. Hoyt with some space on the right side. Slides it into the middle to Walker. Bone. Al-Badawi off the foot of Ledesma, trying to feed it forward for Emery Welshman. Right idea. Mueller got in the way.
Yeah, great idea. Great run by Emery Welshman. That was me just unlucky. Just underhit it a little bit, but great direction with his pass.
Hackshaw will handle the throw-in. Comes out to midfield. Corbin Bone will intercept the Charleston pass. FC Cincinnati will change the point of attack. Over to the left, and Smith. Back to Lasso, and they'll play through Kenny Walker. 28th minute, 1-0 FC Cincinnati. Thanks to the goal in the 22nd minute from Manu Ledesma, his 11th of the season. Alashe for Welshman, played off his chest. Al-Badawi wasn't able to get there before Hackshaw did. Higashi Higashi, excuse me, will try to start the transition attack for Charleston and misplays it.
Good pressure again by Ledesma. We saw the same type of pressure that led to his goal. It's good to see Justin Hoyt's been pushing a little bit aggressive as well, pressing Higashi on that right-hand side.
Bart to the foot of Hoyt. Lashe will control in the midfield. The Michigan native attended Michigan State, was the 4th overall pick in the 2015 Major League Soccer draft. Bart right in the midfield circle. Bart with his right foot launched a shot, deflected away at the top of the 18. Charleston's going to push left to right. Anunga leaves it for Rittmeyer. Working up the right touch. Rittmeyer with some space. Into the middle, Wild bounced off his foot and cleared away by Kenny Walker. Then Lashe is taken down hard. And Charleston's going into the book for the first time tonight as Todd Brian Anunga popped Fatai Lashe.
It was going to happen sooner or later. Anunga hit him with force as well. You'll see it here coming. Just a quick little turn. Continues to go through. That's a dangerous, clumsy tackle as well, Tommy. It's a type of tackle you can twist your knee on that. Lashe's taking his time actually to get up as well.
Second yellow card of the season for the native of Cameroon. Anunga, I mentioned making his 24th start of the year. He has played every minute of every match he has started this year. He did rest last Saturday against Atlanta United 2. Those 90 minutes, the only 90 he hasn't played this season. So we've seen a yellow card each way, a goal for the home lads, and that's where we stand at the half-hour mark. Tonight's broadcast of FC Cincinnati is brought to you in part by KMK Law. Badawi's header is won back by Charleston. Now comes off to Lashe. Walker heads it to Smith. Smith forward, Badawi. Lashe with a few steps. He'll switch it over to the right.
Great ball.
And finds Manu Ledesma right at the edge of the 18. Hackshaw did well to just get a piece of it and disrupt Ledesma.
Really impressed with Lashe. Looked very comfortable. Starting to see his passing range, great vision on that effort just into Ledesma's feet. He's having a pretty good start to his debut, Tommy.
Certainly has been involved here in the first 30 minutes.
Tell you what, he's played with a lot of poise and confidence.
As he should. Lashe's ball to the left and Blake Smith. Into the final third, skipped awkwardly off the foot of Al-Badawi and was cleared away by Thomas. Lashe is going to quickly throw it in and try to keep play moving here at Nippert Stadium, where it's been a fast-paced 31.5 minutes of soccer thus far.
Certainly has. I think it's high tempo really from both teams.
Al-Badawi turns it over to the left. Smith. Lasso sending it to the far touch. Justin Hoyt into the middle. Walker taps it forward for Bone and then quickly turned away by Charleston.
It's interesting though, there's not really been clear-cut chances created from possession from either team. Obviously Ledesma's goal came from a transition, a good defensive play.
Forward to the foot of Guerra. Guerra working across the midfield, then he'll retreat a bit. We've seen each side have a couple opportunities on corner kicks. Nothing came from them at either end.
Just lacking quality, I think, in the flow of the game, Tommy, really. Being fast-paced, I think middle third for both teams, they've done well with the passing patterns. As soon as either team's got into the attacking third with possession. It's just either lack the understanding or the delivery or the end product.
Hackshaw trying to drop it right onto the foot of Higashi, and a miscommunication there between Lasso and Ritchie, and it nearly rolled into that 6-yard box. I don't think it would have gotten there, but Ritchie misplayed it, as did Forrest Lasso, and Lasso ended up clearing it to the near touchline.
Definitely lack of communication. It's very difficult as well for the center back to read what Spencer was going to do.
Higashi has been all over thus far. Guerra with Barrett knocking away at the last moment. Just say I've been impressed with what Kotaro Higashi has brought to Charleston in the first 34 minutes of this match.
Yeah, I think Higashi really, if you look at Guerra and Wild, the two forwards in that attacking three, they've been kind of quiet. I think Higashi really has been the heartbeat of that attack. Drifting inside as well, underneath.
Rittmeyer to Anunga. There's Wild with a left-footed shot. Spencer Ritchie tested for the first time tonight. Dives just a hair to his right. Catches the ball. Ritchie. Sky-high punt will come out across midfield. Rolls away from Emery Welshman and back to his opposing goalkeeper, Joe Kuzminski. He did not start when these two teams played back on March 17th. That was Odisnell Cooper, who is in the 18 today. Cooper 7 starts on the season. Kuzminski tonight making his 18th. Welshman making a run on the right side. Gets to the edge of the 18. He has Al-Badawi there. He'll send it in the direction of Nazmi, and Kuzminski catches it.
Again, another great defensive play by Ledesma to start that. Emery Welshman just under hits the service.
Anunga in the direction of Wild. Forrest Lasso will hold him off. It'll slowly roll out on the end line. And a goal kick coming for Ritchie.
It's definitely a back and forth game, very open.
Paddy Barrett trying to feed in the direction of Manny Ledesma. It'll be a throw in for Charleston. You know, you often talk about fans scoreboard watching. We're not quite scoreboard watching tonight, but we're Emmy watching. FC Cincinnati and some projects that I've been involved in. You're nominated tonight.
I know what
for
you're
an Emmy.
talking. I'm watching this game, man.
I'm not watching. There are others here who might be keeping track for me, but the Rise Together.
It's easy.
The documentary just won. I think just won 2 Emmys for the Rise Together that Spectrum Sports did.
Awesome.
About the movement that you were interviewed for, I was interviewed for, and helped put together. So,
yeah, congratulations.
Very exciting to see FC Cincinnati, and congratulations to all those folks who are honored. Hopefully we'll have some more good news as this broadcast rolls on. Anunga up the right side for Rittmeyer. Sliding in was Blake Smith to knock it away, and a corner kick will come for Charleston here in the 37th minute with the Battery trailing by a goal.
I think I talked about this in the keys to the game. The central positions, numbers up and numbers down. I think Candela and Anunga have done a great job being down 2 against 3. I think they've controlled for the most part. They look very comfortable. Good starting positions. Anunga, very strong player. We saw it in the tackle that resulted in the yellow card.
Wild will take the corner kick. Charleston crashing the 6-yard box. Again, his corner is heavy. And Skylar Thomas trying to give chase towards the far corner flag. It skipped out along the touchline, not the end line, so it's a throw-in for FC Cincinnati deep inside of the defensive third. You got to be smart here how you play it.
I think Skylar just understood that he wasn't going to get to it. I think a throw-in from that position is
huge,
not really that bad. You can step in and press in that corner.
That's exactly what Charleston's going to do. Justin Hoyt right at the flag will throw it for Paddy Bart and let him use his big right leg to get it out into the midfield. Welshman with 2 white shirts on him. Turns it back for Hoyt. Alashe trying to chip it forward. Comes off the chest of Mueller. Manu Ledesma's goal, the difference in this match so far, the 7th ever meeting between these two clubs. Charleston leads the all-time series 3-1-2. Bone to the middle, Alashe. Great ball forward for Welshman as he spun around Mueller. He was taken down. No foul is called, and of course the boos will rain down on Rosendo Mendoza.
I think it's actually really good defended by Mueller. Understand that he had body position on him. Welshman was close to spinning. Mueller just timed it perfectly and stepped across him though.
Charleston misplays it on the near touchline. Blake Smith will throw it back in for the orange and blue. Tom Glader, Kevin McCloskey, Lindsey Patterson, happy to be with you on this beautiful Saturday night in the Queen City. 6th consecutive USL match at home for FC Cincinnati, riding a 12-match unbeaten streak. It started June 2nd. Last time FC Cincinnati lost, they didn't have a Major League Soccer bid. Think about that.
Interesting. Your hair was much longer back then?
I think I've had a few haircuts since May 29th. Welshman was trying to play it onto the end line for Nazmi Al-Badawi. He held up, and it'll be a goal kick. And Charleston has done well themselves. They come into this match 11 straight unbeaten, 6-0-5. They led 36% of the minutes over those 11 matches coming in. FC Cincinnati's led about 54% of the minutes in their previous 12 games. They lead right now with 5 minutes plus stoppage time remaining in the first half. Kuzminski, the goalkeeper out of Denver, Colorado. 3-year starter at Alabama Birmingham, where he was a captain his senior year. FC Cincinnati plays it out to the far touch, and Charleston will throw it in there. .22-year-old Neville Hackshaw puts it back into play for the Battery. Off the foot of Wild, and Barrett plays it backwards onto his goalkeeper, Spencer Ritchie. Ritchie's ball into the midfield was wide in the direction of Ledesma. Charleston will try to throw it in once again. If you're just joining us, Danny Koenig not available tonight for Alan Koch. Picked up a groin injury during the week of training, and he is in street clothes tonight. Came into this match tied with Ledesma for the team lead with 10 goals on the season. And we saw him when we came out of the team presentation. He said he hoped to be ready Wednesday night. I'm sure Alan now hopes he'll be ready knowing that Manu Ledesma will not be available.
I think that might just work out really in Alan's favor. Obviously something that he doesn't really want to do, but no matter what, I think rotation was going to be faced.
Absolutely.
It's interesting you talked about just, the importance of Ledesma and Danny Koenig both scoring 10 goals. I mean, both of these teams really have scored a lot of goals. FC Cincinnati scored 43 goals this season. Charleston 32. Guerrero is their leading scorer, like you talked about in the preview, Tommy.
Abdullah Guerra has 12 of those 32 goals. Welshman just misses Al-Badawi there. Bone in the midfield. To the right, Walker. 20 of the 32 goals for Charleston have come in the second half this season. Barrett forward, on to Walker. Now Patty will go to the left and feed Lasso. Forrest with a great ball onto the head of Blake Smith. Collects it at the end line. He just caught that ball awkwardly, put it out, and a goal kick coming.
A lot of good things tonight for FC Cincinnati. Just lacking the quality. Just lacking that little bit of end product. They've done a great job again of building, moving into Charleston's defensive third. Just haven't been able to really provide that killer service, especially when they get numbers forward too. Got to be able to reward those players for making those dangerous runs.
Kuzminski in his second season with the Battery. He was the backup last year but did not appear in any USL matches. Has taken over a majority of the starting duties here in 2018. Obviously, the potential that this is the final meeting between FC Cincinnati and Charleston, barring any future U.S. Open Cup matches. That said, wouldn't be shocked to see these two go head-to-head again in the playoffs come October, early November.
I certainly hope it's far into the playoffs, though.
Walker to Welshman, let it through. Hoyt unable to get to it. And a nice job on the clearance there by Charleston to get it back out to the midfield. It was Wild. Now Higashi. And a good tackle from Kenny Walker to take it off his foot, but Kenny Walker's going to be called for the foul.
But the only thing, he got ball for sure, but Higashi, I think it just
got reversed.
Yeah, he definitely got ball in the tackle, as I said.
Now will be a free kick for Charleston. Rosendo Mendoza had pointed the other direction as he was running to the spot where he'll place the ball just a step inside of the touchline. Kenny Walker not happy at all.
Think of that side on. I think it's a clean tackle. I think just, as I was saying, Higashi just turned, so his trailing leg kind of came in from behind him.
45th minute, Nippert Stadium, FC Cincinnati leading 1-0. It's been an entertaining first half thus far here in the Queen City. Alasa giving chase across the midfield. Guerra keeps it alive for Charleston. Over to Higashi with a little bit of room right at the edge of the 18. Barrett puts his toes on it. It falls to Guerra. He rips a shot that finds the crossbar.
We talked about that guy
that close to tying the match.
30 seconds ago, how dangerous he is. Again, another great chance. What a strike that was by Guerra.
Nearly at his 13th of the season to equalize it. FC Cincinnati survives and will try to push right to left. Ledesma centering it. Bone. Over to Al-Badawi. Back to Corbin Bone. Bone inside of the 18. Buries it in the back of the net. 2-0 Orange and Blue. What a swing of momentum here at Nippert. The ball catches the crossbar at the other end, and instead of being 1-1, Corbin Bone finishes and makes it 2-0.
What I love about this, really, Tommy, it's all about teamwork, just understanding. We missed the interplay just before it. The dummy comes across as well. Corbin Bone takes a touch. Not the cleanest of first touches, but I tell you what, he made up for it on the strike. Bottom left-hand corner. Terrific finish.
Fourth goal of the season for Corbin Bone. His first since May 5th. And a huge momentum boost going into the dressing room at the half.
Well, again, 30 seconds before that, Guerra comes down and rolls the crossbar. That's a great way to answer. Like you said, Tommy, going into halftime, like getting that second goal. Great momentum going in. I think Alan's definitely got some things that we can continue to improve on. Talked about quality and end product. Certainly sets up for a very interesting second half.
3 minutes of stoppage time was originally signaled. I imagine it'll roll a bit past that now with the goal from Bone. And now Charleston having some trouble getting the ball back into play because they won't place it directly on that spot at midfield. And Rosendo Mendoza is going to see if third time's a charm for the battery. Kenny Walker's kind of just saying, let him play. Let's go. For Nazmi, that's his third assist of the season.
Great team goal, honestly. Again, starts with defending, Tommy, high up the field. It's good to see Nazmi and Welshman I talked about in the first half, or just probably the first 15 minutes at least. Welshman was kind of on his own. I think Nazmi's starting to really recognize that, staying connected to him.
Higashi got the ball, then tried to give it off to Guerra, who lost his footing. Ledesma does really well to keep it in play, far touchline. But always going to give chase. Mueller gets there first. Sends it into the midfield where Kenny Walker finds it. Over to Ledesma. Cleared away by Mueller. That 3 minutes of stoppage time is pretty much run off now, and I imagine that maybe FC Cincinnati gets one more shot off here before heading in. See what they can do on the throw-in. Justin Hoyt, not much of a rush to get over there and put it back into play.
I think really job's done.
Yeah.
As far as game plan for the first half, first 45 minutes. Be happy enough just to kill this off.
Charleston out into the midfield. It'll come to Bone off his chest. Back to Smith, who has tons of room on the left side if he wants it. He'll sit on it and leave it for Alashe. Over to Barrett.
Good control, good decision on that. You talk about Alashe and his experience. Even, you've got to remember too, Tommy, I know he's played MLS, but he's still a young player. Being really impressed with just his poise and decision making.
Smith sliding in on what could have been a very dangerous ball to the foot of Guerra.
Makes up for a bad tackle, really, or bad pass.
And then the halftime whistle will sound here at Nippert, where the lads in orange and blue have scored twice for the 10th time in the last 13 games. 45 minutes of very good soccer in the books, still 45 more to come. Lindsey Patterson is with head coach Alan Koch.
Up 2 goals, but I know you're going to be the first to say this match is far from over. It was a physical first 45 where composure is going to be important in the second half. How do you keep momentum on your side?
Well, obviously, you have to be very, very disciplined. There's obviously lots of little incidences that are happening during the course of the game, and you have to manage your emotions when things like that happen, obviously. But it's a crazy game. It's a beautiful game because, obviously, if Gora goes and scores instead of hitting the post, it's 1-1, and we come down the other side and we score a good goal, and we're 2-0 up at half-time. But we're not content by any means. I was happy with how the guys played. They came out of the gates ready to play tonight. They had the right energy, the right approach, but we still got a long 45 minutes still to go.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Lindsey, and certainly appreciate the time from Alan Koch. A goal from Manu Ledesma and a goal from Corbin Bone. The difference thus far, FC Cincinnati leading at home 2-0 against a team that came in and hadn't trailed the previous 11 matches. We'll step aside and take a break. I chat with Fernando Adi when we return. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer. Over to Albany. Stadium, where we are at the half of the second meeting this season between FC Cincinnati and the Charleston Battery. For the orange and blue, Nigerian striker Fernando Adi is the first designated player in the Major League Soccer franchise's history. Recently, I had time to sit down and meet the new number 9.
Why make the commitment to FC Cincinnati now, knowing they're not in Major League Soccer until next year, but knowing you can get involved at this time?
Of course, it's a very tough decision. It's a very, very tough decision for me to make. Seeing the reception, speaking to the owner Carl and Jeff and Luke and the coach Alan, and I want to be a part of the club. I want to be in the history book of the club, because to come in now is also an advantage for me, knowing that I'm going to get used to the guys, to the coaches, to the environment before the proper MLS season starts in January.
And now, the moment we've been waiting for, Fernando Adi, welcome to Cincinnati.
What a moment in Lippert Stadium.
What excites you about FC Cincinnati?
I was extremely impressed with Carl, the owner.
Yeah.
I think if I had not met him and spoken to him and see who he is, I think it would have been a different decision I would have made. But after speaking to Carl, going on dinner with him, and how receptive he was to me, it's just amazing to see that the owner is that involved in the game and wants to be part of it, wants to make a difference in the players that are going to come in. So also the locker room, I came to the locker room and it wasn't like I'm a new player just coming in. The guys were just amazingly fantastic. Everyone was very receptive. So all those things put together, it just gave me a huge boost of making the decision.
The first chance really to try to find Adi if he can off the service.
But Desmond will send it across. Adi on the header, and Pickens makes the save. Nearly on cue, partner.
Good ball out by Ledesma here. Cuts in, cuts out. Whips it in with his left foot. The big lad at the back post. That's a great header.
Oh, Dub's going in if Pickens doesn't get his mitts on it.
You were loved in Portland by the fans. What should the supporters here in the Queen City know about you?
I don't know what they know about, Portland is an amazing place. It's one place I will never forget. I'm going to miss them, but hopefully I'm coming to something better, right?
Yeah, the fans are excited to see you.
Yeah, coming over here, I know it's going to be exciting. I already know that we get 30 to 35,000 people, 25 at the average for a game, so it's been amazing being in Portland and coming here and playing in front of these great fans.
Fernando Adi involved in the 18 tonight, and maybe we'll see him in the second half. One of the smallest players in the USL is Greg Cochrane. He's doing big things down in the Lone Star State.
Cochrane tonight appearing in his 71st career match with San Antonio FC. He's been with the club all 3 seasons, most consistent there on the back end.
I felt like my whole life I've always had to prove people wrong. Getting cut from the state ODP team when you're 13 because you're too small, and then in your club team you sit on the bench until you're 16 or 17 years old because you're too small. Everything kept referring back to you're too small. There's no better feeling in the world of being able to look at someone that told you no and to be able to say I told you so. You kind of see it all when you go through times of playing, getting cut, being someone on the field, playing all the time. It kind of gives you a good grasp of where different players are and what their mentality might be. It's definitely shaped who I am. I wouldn't change anything for my career or for how it's gone. Not only have I grown as a player, I think I've grown as a man in terms of being able to deal with anything that I really think that's thrown at me. I think there's a bunch of different ways that you can be a leader. bring my lunch pail to work every single day, and I try to get better every day. And if I have that kind of mentality and other people see me pushing regardless of what we're doing, that's the kind of leader I want to be. This is my third year here, and to be able to stay in one place and to really grow with it has been a tremendous honor, and it's something that I don't take for granted at all. Every time that I step on the field, I hope that I represent this club and this city. It's a privilege to play for such a passionate fan base. I'm Greg Cochrane, defender for San Antonio FC.
Johnson! You've got to be kidding me! Oh, what a finish! For Alex Bruce! Dante the other way! Oh, what a goal! Near post! Oh, what a finish by Charlie Ward! And what a world-class goal that is from Didier Drogba! Great save for Strickel! 50th diving stop! Must-see TV.
Back at Nippert Stadium, where we are at the half, FC Cincinnati leading 2-0 against Charleston. Time to take a look around the USL and at tonight's scoreboard. Plenty of other action going on in the league tonight. Ottawa and Indy, a 0-0 draw. Pittsburgh scoreless with Charlotte right now in the 69th minute. That would be a positive result for FC Cincinnati. Louisville City and Nashville at 0-0. That also would be a positive result. So we like the scores as we see them now. How about the standings? We showed them to you off the top, and FC Cincinnati remains atop the first, where they've pretty much spent the entire summer 5 points ahead of Pittsburgh and Charleston right now. If everything held, they'll give FC Cincinnati some more breathing room. The upcoming schedule for the Orange and Blue, believe this or not, Kevin, they're going on the road. It's been a while. At Atlanta Wednesday night, we'll be back with you at 7 o'clock at Tampa Bay next Saturday at 7:30. And then a home game September 1st at Louisville City, September 8th, and Toronto FC2 on September 16th. We'll step aside and take a break when we return. First half highlights, check in with Lindsay, and the final 45 minutes. That's next. The Orange and Blue leading 2-0 at home. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer. Tom Glenn and Kevin Klosky back with you at Nippert Stadium, where FC Cincinnati leading 2-0. A pair of first-half goals, the difference. which means you're saving on pizza tomorrow. Use the code FCPizza50. And here's Manu Ledesma setting up the first goal of the night.
Another highlight opportunity really for Ledesma. Sees the goalkeeper's off his line. Starts with pressure, but what a fantastic finish. Again, to beat the goalkeeper in the top left-hand corner.
So it's 1-0 FC Cincinnati, and Arturo Guerra very close to making it 1-1.
Dangerous player as well. Seconds later, this opportunity happens. Great teamwork by FC Cincinnati. A fantastic finish by Corbin Bone.
Bone gets his first goal since May 5th, and a huge boost for FC Cincinnati heading into the dressing room at the half. Both clubs have started to make their way out of their respective locker rooms. That means that Lindsay Patterson has done the same. Lindsay, what was discussed?
Yeah, guys, the energy here, it just feels like playoff atmosphere in the first 45. And when I walked into that dressing room, you could feel that same energy by the whole club, Allen and crew. And he told his guys, you guys did everything I asked in the first 45, praising individuals in there, but every single one of us, we have to play smart in the second 45. Every time the ball moves, we have to move. Nothing is over, but we control the second 45.
All right, thank you, Lindsay. Certainly work cut out for the orange and blue, but you knew it was going to be a battle all night. You'd rather that work be cut out for you when you have a 2-goal advantage.
Absolutely. I mean, it's again, you've got to respect the opponent. Both teams very talented, reflective, obviously, of the standings in the league, first and third. I'll tell you what, you know this, tell me already, Charleston are not going to give up. They're not going to lay down. I expect the first 15 minutes of this half to be very intense, very aggressive, similar to the way that the first half started. It's very important for FC Cincinnati to weather that storm and try to maintain momentum as much as they can.
So 45 more minutes to be played here in the Queen City. They'll switch ends, and Charleston will attack towards the Bailey and have the first touch of the second half. Arturo Guerra will stand right there and await the signal to put it back into play. He gets it from Rosendo Mendoza, and the second half underway here at Nippert Stadium. FC Cincinnati in their primary kits with the orange and blue hoops. Charleston in their secondary uniforms with the white tops, black shorts, and white socks. Alashe trying to get it to Welshman up the right side, and his touch was heavy. Missed Welshman. Goal kick coming for Kuzminski. Kuzminski came into this game in contention for the Golden Glove Award in 2018. 0.59 goals against average. Has 10 clean sheets on the season. Won't be getting his 11th tonight. Hoyt has it come off his foot. Body Bard will push it out on the touchline. And that pace we saw in the first 45 minutes, both sides picking up right where they left off.
I would expect, honestly, Charleston to be very direct as well, Tommy. Just to test the backline of FC Cincinnati. Be very aggressive. Playing into Guerrera. I think Gordon Wild, another big target as well. We talked about Hagashi and how mobile he was in the first half. Another player they're going to try to find underneath.
Well, remember, Mike Anheuser had to use one of his subs in the first 15 minutes when O'Brien Woodbine came down with a hamstring injury, could not continue, and Nico Rittmeyer came in to replace him. So only 2 subs available for Anheuser the rest of the way, all 3 for Alan Koch, and one of them very well could be Fernando Adi. Not a bad sub to bring on in a match that is a 6-point game against a team you have a bit of a rivalry with after the last 3 years.
I think for Adi, obviously, he's trying to work into game fitness as well, Tommy, trying to get extra minutes. Hasn't played a ton this season, honestly.
Some thought in the city that he might get his first start tonight, and Alan Koch thought that it was better to bring him off the bench again, continue to get him ready, because he probably makes a start in the next week with Atlanta United coming up. Atlanta United 2 on Wednesday night, and then the match down in Tampa on Saturday. We've talked about the rotation. It's going to happen. Alan doesn't know what it's going to be yet.
Right.
But I wouldn't be surprised to see Fernando Adi part of it.
Yeah, he's not game ready. I think he's probably lacking a little bit of sharpness, but even in the instances that we've seen him, Tommy, already a big threat, an exciting player. The crowds love getting behind him when he comes on.
Ledesma unable to keep it alive on the touchline. Fernando Adi should have had a penalty kick at the end of the match Sunday night. Ends up being inconsequential as FC Cincinnati won 1-0. I went back and watched it. He's clearly dragged down with 2 arms around him.
It was a penalty kick, definitely.
The match ended, and we went on with our post-game duties. Didn't really talk much about it, but it certainly should have been a penalty kick. Ball into the middle, the direction of Corbin Bone, who scored the second goal. He'll have some space to work, left to right. Leaves it to the right to Nazmi, who fed him on his 4th goal of the season. Walker off to Alashe, and Fatai completely mishits it.
Really, that's the only mistake I think Alashe, apart from the overhead pass to Welshman that he's made. Just tries to snap at it. Good set touch. I think he could have honestly taken a first touch. Takes a hop though if you saw that the second time.
Well, I don't think it caught the match official's boot there, but it kind of came funny on him.
No, honestly looked like it had a seam on the field. Just popped up. He did have time to take a first touch to set him though.
Barrett back to Spencer Ritchie, who's starting his 2nd consecutive match, making his 7th start of the year. Hackshaw battling with Ledesma, who was booked early on the near touch. Hoyt will let it skip out and throw it back into play. Walker switches sides to Blake Smith. Now Alashe. Alashe. Forward to Welshman, and foul's going to be called on Alashe after the fact. He got tangled up with Candela. I think he felt as though when he passed that ball there was some contact.
Yeah, good foul. I mean, good refereeing by Mendoza.
Ledesma trying to feed it into the 18. Can't get it to Welshman, but he breaks it up and keeps it alive. Hoyt got it right across the mouth of the goal. Corbin Bone was a couple steps away and ends up not being dangerous for Charleston, but Hoyt had the right idea.
Yeah, I think Anunga there honestly thought Hoyt was going to play in Ledesma, who made the overlapping run. Instead, Justin Hoyt, you'll see it again here, plays in first time. Great ball. Welshman, I think.
Well, the defenders for Charleston were kind of standing around watching it.
Right, well, and that's what I'm saying. They're taken by surprise a little bit. I think even his own teammate, Emery Welshman, didn't react enough.
Guerra unable to catch up with the ball. It's played back to Ritchie and into the midfield.
Kenny Walker's looked very comfortable in his position as well, alongside Alashe.
Which is good news, because you don't know coming in. 2 guys starting alongside each other for the first time. How will it work out? Well, it's worked out pretty well.
The key as well, yeah, anytime you make the changes, how well does the partnership work? You know, especially when you're playing in that screen position, side by side, do you complement each other? I think the answer to that question is yes for these guys. Seem like they have a good understanding, both very technical players as well.
Barrett right up the middle. He was trying to get it to Albadawi. He was making a run from the far side. Hackshaw clears it out on the touchline. A throw-in for the orange and blue, leading 2-0 in the 52nd minute. And Hoyt took it before Mendoza was ready for him to put it back into play. Now Hoyt snuck forward a few steps, will be pushed in reverse, and finally brings it back. Desmond with a nice touch to Albadawi. Try to feed it in the middle and end up in between Bone and Welshman. One back by Charleston, who again having a hard time just getting it back out to midfield.
I think FC Cincinnati have done a really good job of just pressing. As soon as they lose it, they're in a position really to kind of counter press.
Hoyt tried to get it off to Albadawi. Charleston regained control, and now the battery right to left with Higashi getting around Paddy Barrett, who's going to end up in the book with a yellow card.
That is a yellow card.
Yep.
Well, that's a professional foul. Higashi, a ton of space that he was attacking as well. Paddy Barrett just clips his heels. And Paddy knew exactly what he was trying to do. Just try to slow Higashi down here. You see it.
No problem with that one.
No.
Second FC Cincinnati player to land in the book tonight. Paddy Barrett, that is his 4th yellow card on the season. So now he goes into that warning zone. His 5th would result in a 1-match suspension.
Call that the danger zone, Tommy.
I'm watching too much Top Gun, partner. Charleston, meanwhile, had tried to move the spot forward about 6 yards, and Mendoza marks it further back. So where Van Schaik was set to resume play and get it forward to Higashi, who got taken down. Higashi to the middle, Guerra. Back to Higashi. Right move, and a foul is called as Justin Hoyt. Are they calling it out where Guerra was taken down?
I think they're calling the initial foul here. I didn't see much in that first tackle. I thought Justin Hoyt did. Just a little bit overzealous, kind of jumping for the second tackle where he ended up winning the ball.
Atula Guerra.
Interesting call, though.
Here's a look at it.
Just contact.
Yeah. I'm all right with the foul call. Tonight's broadcast of FC Cincinnati is brought to you in part by Sharefax. Orange and blue will certainly be tested here. Leading 2-0. Great spot for Guerra.
Standing over the ball. The guy that rattled the crossbar really from this distance. About 25 yards out.
Now he's going to walk away into the wall.
He'll leave it for a while, it looks like.
Yeah,
maybe.
Gordon Wild, the German. Up 26, 27 yards away. Wild with his left foot, a bounding ball skipped off the wall and out on the end line. Spencer Ritchie is arguing that it caught Charleston. In the meantime, Wild's going to run over and try to get this corner kick off quickly. More boos from the Bailey. Corner kick is brought to you by the Levy Law Offices. Wild on the service, looking far post. Barrett defends it well and knocks it outside of the 18. Higashi challenging Alashe. Higashi to the end line with Alashe there. And Higashi touched it last.
Threatening player, though, Tommy. It's a player that FC Cincinnati have to keep a track of. His last 5 minutes, he's really been the threat for Charleston. Very technical player. Quick on his feet, changes his direction.
Spencer Ritchie will wait for everybody to work their way into the midfield before putting it back into play. FC Cincinnati coming into this match tied for 4th in the USL with 43 goals. That number now up to 45. Everybody's chasing New York, who's already scored 52 goals this season. Hackshaw puts his hip into Manny Ledesma and knocks him down to the field. That foul was called. Free kick coming for the orange and blue. And not a lot of contact, but certainly enough for the foul call.
I think it's one of those things, too. I talked about in the first half, really, the fan wants an open game. I think it's been a very aggressive and physical game for both teams, but it's not really allowed for that kind of openness and that flow. A lot of stoppages so far.
Ledesma trying to set up for a service here. 45 yards away. He'll send it into the 18. It was headed down by Forrest Lasso, who's called for a foul.
I think he was maybe just offside as well.
Yeah, flag was up. You're right. Dom Glader and Kevin McCloskey happy to be here at Nippert Stadium tonight with Lindsey Patterson, who's celebrating her birthday. So far, so good for FC Cincinnati. 2-0 in favor of the orange and blue as we roll on to the 58th minute. Blake Smith across midfield. Misplayed by Charleston Emery Welshman. He taps it forward to Al-Badawi into the 18. Nazmi Al-Badawi takes a shot and Kuzminski makes the save.
Good save by Kuzminski. I think Al-Badawi too kept him honest. There wasn't much he could have done really apart from trying to target that front post. Ended up getting a decent amount of power on it with his left foot as well.
Corner kick opportunity for FC Cincinnati to extend their lead as we approach the 1 hour mark. Kenny Walker will go over to take it. First time we've seen him on a corner tonight. It's brought to you by the Levy Law Offices. Walker will serve it with his right foot. Walker plays it short. Barrett can't find it with the header. Guerra will clear it. Wild giving chase is fouled. And it'll be a free kick just outside of the defensive third for Charleston. I feel sense Charleston has a bit of urgency in their play right now, trailing by 2 on the road.
They've certainly turned the heat up a little bit in the second half.
The Battery have only lost once at home all year. It was to FC Cincinnati back on March 17th. They're 3-2-7 on the road this season. FC Cincinnati, meanwhile, 7-2-3 at home. And, of course, tonight is the 6th consecutive home USL match. Back on the road where they're 6-1-3 starting Wednesday night.
It's just an interesting time of the game itself, really. FC Cincinnati up 2-0. Charleston, like you said, certainly showing a lot of urgency. I think if FC Cincinnati can continue to kind of weather that storm, we try to hit them on the counter-attack or get that third, an all-important killer goal, it might just be able to see off this Charleston attack.
Well, we're approaching the time period where Alan Koch indicated we might see Fernando Adi. With Emery Welshman coming back from a suspension, that his minutes might be a little bit shorter tonight, and then Adi could get more minutes than he has played in his first 2 appearances.
This makes a lot of sense. Like you said, Welshman's not played a ton, really, and we saw in the first half a little rusty. I think he's worked his way into the game, but nevertheless, 60 minutes in, he's got to come off and maybe get a little bit of rest. And you talked about Adi maybe coming on and gaining some more extra minutes.
Michael Lahoud has made his way into the dugout in the meantime as Hoyt up the right touchline for Al-Badawi. Al-Badawi puts his hands on Higashi, who goes right down to the field. Now, and Koch indicating that was a dive. So if Michael Lahoud's coming out as the first sub, who do you see him replacing at this point in the match?
I think if Michael Lahoud's coming on, I think maybe Alashe really is, again, a player that's, this is his debut.
Right.
Hasn't played a ton of game minutes.
And he's a guy who was working his way back from a groin injury as well.
Exactly. So when you talk about the profile of the player too, more Michael Lahoud plays, Nazmi, I don't think so, unless they really go defensive with Kenny Walker, Alashe, and Lahoud. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it'll be for Alashe. We'll find out here momentarily. Now, Koch will use his first sub of the night. Higashi was slow to his feet, hence the delay in the match as we've just crossed the 1 hour mark with FC Cincinnati leading 2-0. Now, Justin Hoyt is coming out to the midfield to have a conversation with Mendoza, who will signal to his 4th official to make the substitution. And it will be Fatai Alashe coming off. Michael Lahoud, the native of Sierra Leone, coming on to make his 16th appearance of the season.
I think Alashe's had a fantastic debut. He's looked very comfortable in that position, kind of holding in that anchor position in midfield. Very comfortable alongside Kenny Walker. Michael Lahoud, though, coming on again. Brought a lot of good performances this season. A player of great experience.
What a nice round of applause for Fatai Alashe as he comes off. And the fans here in the Queen City recognize his effort. Finally, after a lengthy delay, play resumes. With a misplayed ball from Charleston. Paddy Barrett. Forward to Ledesma. Now Hoyt. Walker. On to Manu. Manu will slow it down. Nazmi to the final third for Welshman, right at the top of the 18. Emery trying to get it out wide for Manu, trailing. Charleston did well to pick it up. It was Anunga. He'll give it off to Guerra, who has some room to work. Now on to the right. Tried to feed it to Wild, and Blake Smith got in the way.
That was an important interception there. Guerra's pass almost got through to Wild on that far right-hand side.
Well, Higashi on the interception. Across the mouth of the goal. He was trying to feed it off to Guerra and missed. Charleston continues to bring the pressure. And they'll use their second sub of the match here in the 63rd minute. And it'll be Higashi coming off.
It's very surprising, honestly, Tommy. I think he's been really everywhere for Charleston.
Patrick Okonkwo, the native of Lagos, Nigeria, will come on.
I think one thing maybe changing, I talked about them being a little bit more direct. I think they're definitely going to have to do that as the time ticks by. Putting on a bigger target certainly allows Charleston to be a little bit more aggressive and long, at least with their service into their target players.
19-year-old Okonkwo makes his 15th appearance of the season. He's played 423 minutes. Welshman touches it to Walker. Kenny over to the left to Blake Smith. Welshman receives the ball in the midfield, loses it, bounces off to the foot of Candela. Hackshaw on the left side. Ball intercepted by Walker. Ledesma keeping it alive around two defenders. Tonight's broadcast of FC Cincinnati is brought to you in part by UC Health. Wild receives the ball down the left side. Hoyt trailing him. Ledesma coming flying back defensively. Poked it back to Justin Hoyt, and FC Cincinnati able to clear the defensive third. Candela. Rittmeyer stopped his run, and the ball went right past him.
Guerra starting to get a little frustrated too. That's twice he's tried to play that through pass on that right-hand side. Just overhit that last pass to Rittmeyer, like you said. I think you're going to see Charleston really throw the kitchen sink at FC Cincinnati these next 10 minutes.
Which could open up opportunities the other way for the orange and blue.
Okay, great time then. You talked about a fresh leg. Adi coming in. Perfect timing, huh?
Well, like I said, we expected it to be somewhere after the hour mark. And we are into that window, so just a matter of time till Alan Koch looks down to his left and sends somebody to retrieve number 9. Wild over to the right. Rittmeyer brings it to the top of the 18. Wild gets it back and puts it over the goal. It'll be a goal kick for Spencer Ritchie. For more on the next potential sub, let's check in with Lindsay.
Yeah, you guys mentioned we might see Audie soon. It'll be in the next 5 minutes. He'll actually be going in for Emery Welshman. Coach just told me since it is Emery's first game back in about 3 weeks, he wanted to get him off of there.
Yeah, we expected that. Emery Welshman getting the start tonight, his 10th of the season. Play somewhere about 68 to 70 minutes, and then Fernando Adi will have a chance to come on and provide a spark as he has in his 2 other appearances.
I think, Tommy, though, you bring up a great point as well of what that will do to Charleston's attack. You know, they're going to be very mindful of what they're leaving. Right now, they're trying to push their 3 up, even their 3 center backs into the attack. Leaving a guy like Adi, I don't know if you're going to do that.
I wouldn't suggest it. Van Schaik off to Guerra. Over to the right, and at the last moment, Forrest Lasso slides in to take down the youngster Okonkwo.
Such an important tackle. It's such an important time of the game as well.
Here it is.
This could have changed everything for FC Cincinnati. Forrest Lasso, what a tackle that is.
Huge defensive play against his former team. Okonkwo hasn't gotten up. Spencer Ritchie was looking him right in the eye when number 3 came in to make the defensive play.
And Spencer, credit to him too, came down and tried to make the angle smaller. The Forrest Lasso with a perfectly timed tackle.
Will be a corner kick for Charleston, trailing by a pair. Battery trying to find their way onto the board for the first time tonight. A little bit of pushing and shoving and jawing going on inside of the penalty area as Wild sets up to take it. Service coming, headed away by Barrett. It'll bound to the near side, right in the direction of Fernando Adi. Charleston will waste no time putting it back into play. Anunga. Lasso heads it directly.
Big challenge again.
Straight up and down. Van Schaik. Off to Wild. Charleston maintains possession. Ledesma makes contact with Anunga. No foul is called, and then Kenny Walker is shoved down right at the end line. They're going to say it was a foul on Skylar Thomas, who knocked him down trying to get to it. Spencer Ritchie will come over to take that free kick.
Well, we expected this reaction from Charleston, Tommy. They're being physical, they're being aggressive, they're trying to throw everything really at the back line, but FC Cincinnati, credit to the back line, especially those back four, Justin Hoyt, Paddy Barrett, Forrest Lasso, Blake Smith. They've been under the cosh, and they've answered everything that's been thrown at them.
They just announced the attendance, 27,142 here at Nippert tonight, enjoying what they've seen thus far. Their orange and blue lads leading 2-0. Okonkwo. He's been active since he got into the match. Just inside of the 18, Blake Smith sliding in, knocks it away. Corbin Bone can't catch up with it. It'll be a Charleston throw. Fernando Adi's been called inside of the dugout, and we will see his third appearance for FC Cincinnati momentarily. Candela was trying to set up with Wild inside of the 18, completely missed him, and it rolls on to Ritchie. It will take his time. Spencer Ritchie will bounce it all the way out to the top of the 18, now rolled in front of him. Done well to let about 20 seconds roll off the clock, and in the 71st minute sends it back out across midfield. Welshman giving chase. Hackshaw quickly throws it back into play. Well, now he feigned like he was going to and then held on to it. One sub remaining for Mike Anheuser in Charleston. Could it be Victor Mantaray, who spent some time with FC Cincinnati last year? Vic has made 12 appearances this year, played 425 minutes. Certainly that is an offensive-minded substitution if that's the direction Anheuser goes.
You talked moments ago just about Spencer Ritchie shaving vital seconds off the clock. FC Cincinnati being fantastic in possession, being very patient. Really great game management.
Ledesma working with Bone on the right side. Right at the edge of the final third. White drawing defensive attention. Gets it off for Walker.
For Charleston, this is the most frustrating thing, Tommy. Anytime that you're a team that you're down 2-0, you're having a chase, the opponent is in charge. Until I said that.
Of course.
And then we have commentators curse.
Justin Hoyt, as he come off his boot of throwing for Charleston. What I was going to say, in possession, this has to be, especially when you consider the opponent,
100%.
one of the top performances for this club this season.
All relative, like you said, just about the opponent too. But well, Charleston have thrown a lot at FC Cincinnati, both defensively and in possession. I think FC Cincinnati have managed it very well.
Fernando Adi has now put his jersey top on and come out to midfield. He will replace Emery Welshman at the next opportunity. Can he put this one away? That'd be pretty exciting.
I think the game's set up for him as well. Very open, like you talked about, going on. Playing against Mueller, who's a very experienced player, but playing against that back three as well. Adi's smart enough. Been very impressed with him when he's come on of finding space. He'll certainly find space in between those three center backs.
So here's the second substitution for Alan Koch. Fernando Adi will check on. Emery Welshman coming off. And I agree with your assessment of how Emery did tonight. Rusty at the start, I think, but grew into this match as the minutes wore on.
It's such a shame too, because I think when he got that Unfair suspension, can we say that?
Yeah, you could say that. If you get hit with a fine, it's all on you, partner.
I certainly felt like he was getting into a rhythm, too. I thought he was starting to create form. And when that happened, it's tough. You know, it's a little bit of a setback. It's 3 games out. You're a little bit cold. You're coming in tonight.
And the club signs Fernando Adi.
That's something that he can't control.
I know, but while you're suspended, you talk about being frustrated.
Yeah.
Another striker into the mix, but they're all important. They'll all play their role.
100%.
As FC Cincinnati chases a USL Cup on their way out of the league. Hackshaw with a shot. Goes wide to the right of diving Spencer Ritchie, and a goal kick coming.
You break out another great point as well, Tommy. Regardless, I think Emery Welshman, Danny Koenig, Ledesma, Adi, they've all got to work together. That chemistry has been so important for FC Cincinnati this year. You talk about times of rotation. I'm sure we'll see it on Wednesday and Saturday. Those are the moments that you have to have confidence in your teammates.
Ritchie with his right foot out across midfield onto the boot of Ledesma. Walker got it to Adi. Quickly defended by Hackshaw. Now Van Schaik retreating a little bit with Ledesma in his face. Plays it into the middle, but Howie giving chase. And Kuzminski probably had to move forward a little faster than he planned and sent it out near touchline. Charleston, in the meantime, is going to see their final sub. It'll be Ian Svantesson, native of Orlando, Florida, and a 6'6" forward coming on as the target here for Anheuser. And it's Candela who came off.
We talk about the changes again. Svantesson coming in, another big target, 6'6". We talked about Charleston probably changing their game plan. However, FC Cincinnati have not allowed them to do anything. They've controlled the game even since these changes have happened.
Ball into the 18 in the direction of Corbin Bone. Well defended by Charleston. 75th minute at Nippert. The orange and blue leading 2-0 with 15 minutes plus stoppage time remaining.
Seeing how deep Guerrero is going to have to get just even to get in possession. That didn't happen in the first half. He dropped all the way back. He was playing as the highest target.
On to the left side, Hackshaw. Anunga over to Van Schaik. Flag was up. Charleston will be called for offside. Now, Mike Anheuser came into this match 199 career wins as a head coach. Certainly has done a fantastic job in Charleston. He has his work cut out for him here in the final 15 minutes if he wants to get to magic number 200.
I don't think it's going to happen tonight. But
maybe not.
Respect and credit to him as a coach, like you said, Tommy. Very impressive, the record that he's had, not just this season.
Well, the 2 hottest teams in the USL doing battle tonight here in the Queen City. FC Cincinnati riding a 12-match unbeaten streak. Charleston came in riding an 11-match unbeaten streak. That stretch in danger right now. Hackshaw will poke it out to midfield. Lahoud there to track it down. Walker to Lahoud, and now Walker back to Lasso. Of course, Lasso defeated his former team in his first appearance in orange and blue, hoping to do it again tonight. Potty Bard's ball in the direction of Justin Hoyt was about 3 steps ahead of him. Came out at midfield, and that's where Van Schaik will throw it back in. Walker can't keep it in play, and Van Schaik will run the length of the dugout and throw it back in once again. Garrett Wild. Wild just outside of the 18. Shot is taken by Okonkwo and goes wide to the right of Ritchie. Goal kick.
Yeah, for a goal kick. I think that's probably the best opportunity that Charleston have had in the last 10 minutes at least.
Aside from the shot that Okonkwo would have had if Forrest Lasso hadn't made that sliding tackle.
That was really the last chance that they had, that big-time tackle by Forrest Lasso. Since then, though, the last 10 minutes, I think FC Cincinnati really controlled the pace of the game. They've really dictated it, honestly. Ritchie across midfield in the direction of Hackshaw.
Ledesma collects and finds Adi. And then Walker is tossed to the turf. Foul will be called on Guerra, who I agree has seemed frustrated in the last 20 minutes or so.
You can, I mean, really the deep positions that he's taken, they probably switched kind of the setup of their attack in three. However, he's coming all the way back into the middle third to try to collect, to get an attack started. That's not his job. His job, again, he scored 12 goals this season, Tommy. You want him at the top of the D. You don't want him dropping back into the center circle to start possession.
Ledesma will put it back into play. Sending into the box in the direction of Barrett. Headed away by Charleston. Ledesma comes forward and will quickly throw it in to Al-Badawi. Nazmi across the middle was trying to find Adi. Barrett is down, cramping up. Walker just trying to slow down Charleston's transition attack as Bart's still down.
Yeah, Kenny Walker recognizes too. Smart just drops back into that center back position. Justin Hoyt's actually slid across, but Kenny Walker acting as a right back right now.
Cross to the near side of the 18 for Charleston. Bart still unable to get back. Blake Smith heads it away. Corbin Bone will get forward. Bart sitting down there. And
looks like he's holding his knee.
Yeah, all of a sudden, you got Dekel Kanon warming up in earnest when he thought the back line wouldn't be switched late. It looked like Jimmy McLaughlin was going to be the last sub. FC Cincinnati is going to play it out into their own dugout. Try to get Aaron Powell out there to help Paddy Barrett.
Dekel Kanon's got to try to
and maybe more than cramping.
Fast.
You're right.
He's holding his knee. It could be a cramp, but
I don't think anybody had to tell Dekel Kanon. The veteran knew to get up, get down there, and get loose in case he's needed to replace Paddy Barrett, who's wearing the captain's armband for the second straight match.
You know this yourself, Tommy. Once you get into your 30s, it takes a little bit of time to get the blood pumping.
I have a hard time getting up the stairs from the pitch when we go to the pregame meeting 90 minutes before the match.
And we're hoping, obviously, the Paddy Barrett can get up and continue to play and finish out this game, but Dekel Kanon certainly warming up very fast.
Certainly would probably change the late match sub pattern for Alan Koch. I would have thought that maybe McLaughlin coming on for Ledesma if there was going to be a late sub. He was the one that was warming up in earnest. Kanon will continue to get ready if needed as Aaron Powell attends to Paddy Barrett. Right at the top of the 18 where he went down after that set piece. He's pulled his socks back up and Paddy Barrett will jog to the near touchline. Appears he's okay.
Running like a gazelle.
It's that Irish blood, right?
That's it, buddy. The Irish sausages he has every breakfast.
Those Irish lads are tough, I hear. Sometimes take elbows to the face during match broadcasts. Doesn't stop them. Paddy Barrett will continue to stretch out over there. You see him.
Definitely looks like cramp though, Tom. I think you're right.
Aaron Powell is chatting with Alan Koch now.
He's been tested. Paddy Barrett and Forrest Lasso have been trying to deal with a lot of attacks coming at them from Charleston.
You can see Kenny Walker's directing traffic. Make sure everybody is in the proper defensive formation while Barrett gets waved back onto the field, and here he comes. Bouncing ball in the direction of Ritchie. It'll fall to his chest with Okonkwo giving chase. Lasso is there holding him off. 82nd minute, 2-0 FC Cincinnati. It was Manny Ledesma with the go-ahead goal in the 22nd minute. Corbin Bone in first half stoppage time on the pass from Al-Badawi made it 2-0, and that's where we stand here in the 7th meeting between these clubs. Important 3 points on the line tonight for the Orange and Blue with 7 of their final 10 on the road to wrap up the regular season. Hackshaw's pass is intercepted by Ledesma. He'll get it forward for Adi. Walker back to Fernando. Hoyt. Got it to Walker and then gets it back. Into the middle, on to Nazmi Al-Badawi. Nazmi over to Justin Hoyt, inside of the 18. Justin Hoyt rips a shot and Kuzminski makes the save. Corner kick coming for the Orange and Blue.
We don't see Justin Hoyt in that position too often, but
he's been saying for 2 months that first goal is coming. I thought that might be the moment.
He does well to get a good contact on the strike. Kuzminski again just reacts well, pushes it over. Interesting, Kuzminski again just in a strange position though.
Paddy Barrett hanging back this time on the set piece after being injured last time. This corner kick will come from Manu Ledesma on the near side. Ledesma looking, we saw him score from the corner before. We saw one waved off as well. It didn't count, but he nearly did it again.
That's a nightmare too, again.
I was going to say he's looking far post, but he was looking far post to put it in himself.
No, I mean, that's what he's aiming for, far post. And again, for a goalkeeper, it's very tough. A lot of traffic in front of him.
Ledesma loses it onto the foot of Rittmeyer, who came on early in this match, the first half sub. Kanon and McLaughlin continue to get loose for Alan Koch with one sub remaining. 6 minutes plus stoppage time remaining here in the Queen City. FC Cincinnati trying to win for the 15th time this season. Charleston to throw it in near touchline. Hackshaw played it, came off the foot of Guerra. Corbin Bone has it deflected away. Fernando Adi will work with some space. Adi to his right, finds Al-Badawi. Nazmi trying to give it back, had two defenders on, and Mueller took it away. Deflection, though, goes right to Corbin Bone. Al-Badawi over to Adi, off his chest. Fernando Adi has a shot saved by Kuzminski, who is under fire late in this match.
Kuzminski does really well again, talking about coming out and making the angle smaller. Great ball by Nazmi Al-Badawi. Ball comes across, it's a great first touch. He has to delay it a little bit, waiting for that ball just to get down to his feet. Didn't fall cleanly for him, but regardless, very good save.
Kenny Walker will head to the far side, to the right of Kuzminski, to set up the set piece. And the waning minutes here at Nippert. The Orange and Blue have one more treat for the 27,000 plus on hand. Played short in the direction of Lahoud. Conquo cleared it to the far touchline. That's where Blake Smith will throw it in. Smith puts it onto the back heel of Adi, played it towards the corner. Al-Badawi giving chase. Mueller trying to clear it. Come off into the midfield where Kenny Walker wins it back. And then Lahoud wisely plays it back for Barrett. Hoyt into the middle, Walker. Back to Hoyt and over to Barrett. Barrett with pressure on, knocked down to the pitch. And we're going to have a late booking. Svensson's going to land in Rosendo Mendoza's book with his fourth yellow card of the season.
Another chance just to shave some time off that clock.
Barrett certainly in no rush to put it back into play. Fourth yellow card handed out by Rosendo Mendoza tonight, and they've been split evenly, 2-2. Kenny Walker nearly saw that ball catch his arm. Pulled it quickly behind his back. Justin Hoyt will throw it in at midfield. On to the 88th minute.
It's called for a foul throw.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen very often.
We've been doing these together for 3 years. I think that's the second time I've seen it. Maybe because it was right in front of the fourth official.
Yeah.
Van Schaik. Over to the right will be Skylar Thomas. Okonkwo. Back to Anunga. Hackshaw. Sends it inside of the 18. Spencer Ritchie confidently punches it away.
I'd say brave save on that one.
Body's flying in, and he got his fist there first. Lahoud looking to play it forward. I think he just took a knee to the face. Ledesma finds Fernando Adi at the top of the 18. Fernando Adi put it off the hands of Kuzminski, and that's the second time we've seen Fernando Adi nearly find the net here in the second half.
I don't think Adi's happy with himself on that.
No, he sent it about 20 rows up into the stands.
Well, great understanding, though, and awareness by Ledesma. Played a perfectly weighted pass over.
And Adi plays the quick corner. Whipping ball from Ledesma. He tried to sneak it in near post. And we saw Adi frustrated. He wants that first goal to come here at Nippert, no doubt about it. Hopefully we will see him in orange and blue for many years. He'll be part of the Major League Soccer team next year. Made the decision, if you saw the interview at halftime after meeting with Carl Lindner and his teammates, to play the rest of 2018 here in the USL. Hackshaw into the middle. 1 minute plus stoppage time left. Anunga. Over to Thomas. He'll cross it. Ritchie will catch it.
He's had another solid game. Potentially a clean sheet as well. To his confidence, a world of good.
Ritchie will send it into the midfield in the direction of Adi. Fernando Adi's going to be called for a foul. Got tied up there with Mueller.
I know we've talked about Adi, just individually wanting to try to get that goal as well. I think the other interesting thing too, Tommy, though, the players around him got to start figuring out his strengths.
Yep.
What he wants, how they can play off of him. Not just to serve him, but to play off of him too.
That'll come with time.
Yeah, will come with time. I think Ledesma already's kind of figured out kind of the runs and service that he wants. A guy like Nazmi Al-Badawi, though, playing in that attacking number 10 position, I think if he can figure out him as a target, Adi in front of him, he's going to get a lot of first and second, just little layoffs.
4 minutes of stoppage time, all that's separating the orange and blue from their 15th win on the season. And a huge home victory. Ball into the box, cleared away by Forrest Lasso. He's played really well tonight.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. Honestly, the entire back line, Tommy, I think have been solid, including Spencer Ritchie, the goalkeeper. He's come up with a lot of big defensive plays.
Talk about learning each other's tendencies, going back to your point about Fernando Adi. Manu Ledesma did not score his first 5 matches for FC Cincinnati. In the 19 since, he scored 11 times.
That happens, honestly, a lot of times when transfers occur or there's trades or whatever in the professional game, there's another chance for him.
Ball skips off his foot to the far side a bit. He would have had a one-on-one opportunity against Mueller if he caught it clean. He'll leave it for Al-Badawi, who fed it.
That's what I'm talking about. How can he bring other players into the game?
Adi off to Nazmi. Inside of the 18, spins and dumps it off for Manu. He'll drop it back to Blake. Lahoud. FC Cincinnati in the final third in stoppage time, leading by 2. Now they'll be patient. Smith trying to cross it, did well to recover after Charleston won it back. Bone working with Smith. Blake pushes it out wide. Walker into the middle. Hoyt has a lot of room on the right side. If Forrest Lasso can send it there, he'll first give it to Bart. Now Potty finds the Englishman. Walker
starting to look more and more like a training session.
I was going to say, I think with Kenny Walker getting the touch in that series, everybody touched the ball except for Spencer Ritchie.
No, it's been good. Possession's been very good tonight.
Halfway through stoppage time. Manu tried to backheel it to Nazmi, didn't connect. Guerra gets around Lahoud, who slipped. He'll send it out wide for Okonkwo. Far touchline with Smith standing there defensively. Okonkwo trying to get inside of the 18, deflects it off of Smith. Late corner kick coming for the visitors. Fernando Adi will sprint to get back defensively. Corner kick for Charleston. Wyatt will send it. Lasso heads it away. Both Forrest and Potty were there. Hackshaw on the preventative coverage will put it back to the far post. And it sails over the goal, and you can see Forrest Lasso's feeling it right now.
You think he's excited?
About 60 seconds away from his second win against his former club.
Former team, 2-0, not bad.
More importantly, 3 massive points for Alan Koch's lads.
Certainly reaffirms that move as well, that transfer to FC Cincinnati. He came here to be in these positions, top of the league.
Ritchie out into the midfield. Anunga wins the first touch. Ledesma battling to get it back with Van Schaik on his back, who's called for the foul. They're starting to feel it in the Bailey as the final seconds ticking off. Al-Badawi. Nazmi forward to Adi. Fernando Adi back to Nazmi Al-Badawi. Al-Badawi over to Adi. It'll be an own goal. That'll make it 3-0 off the boot of Skylar Thomas.
Even though that's an own goal, again, I talked about partnerships, understanding. That's a reflection of Nazmi and Adi coming a little bit closer together, Tommy, on that.
Well, if Thomas doesn't get a piece of it, it probably skips to Adi, who finishes it.
This is the understanding here. Just playing into the target. Just the extra touch. Continues the run. Exactly. He's trying to find Adi back post. Regardless, it's a dangerous ball in. It's good to see.
Well, Lindsay, your birthday cake is officially iced. 3-0 orange and blue at home. Chance of FCC rain down from 27,000 plus here tonight in the Queen City. I would imagine after this touch, Rosendo Mendoza will say he has seen enough. That is exactly the case. The full-time whistle sounds, and they are dancing in the Bailey tonight at Nippert Stadium. A 6-point swing and a 3-0 victory for the Orange and Blue. The unbeaten streak is at lucky 13, 9-0-4, and the 11-match unbeaten streak for Charleston comes to a close. Spencer Ritchie, 6-1-0, as starting goalkeeper gets his 3rd clean sheet of the season. Lindsey Patterson is just about set with Alan Koch, who should be pretty happy after a win number 15. Lindsey, take it away.
Coach, it felt like a playoff atmosphere. You told them at the half it was some of the best football they've played in the last 2 weeks. This homestand, 13 unbeaten. How would you describe it?
It was a very, very good performance tonight. I think from start to finish, and then the guys went out and did exactly what we needed them to do. They managed the game very, very well against a very, very good team. You can see Charleston's a great team, and obviously they're competing with us right at the top. So it's a huge 3 points. The result's important, but to be honest, after the last couple of weeks, I think the most important thing tonight was the performance, and the performance was class right from the start, right until the end.
Fernando Adi, he's going to get that goal, right?
Yeah, he definitely will. Obviously, a goal like that goes in, I think it was the own goal. Obviously, it doesn't really matter who scores. Obviously, there's a great build-up, great ball by Naz. Adi made the right run, obviously, and the ball went in the back of the net. So I'm sure he'd like to score, obviously. But as a group, we won 3-0. We take the 3 points.
So enjoy the win, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Lindsay. Great job with Alan Koch. Appreciate his time tonight as FC Cincinnati tallies the win here at home. Tonight's moment of the match is presented by Toyota. Let's go places. For FC Cincinnati, it's that second goal set up with a great possession.
In pressure, this is it, Tommy. For me, it's teamwork. Starts off defensively, working in a little bit of a dummy. Corbin Bone at the back post. Again, great finish. Great just to see all 3 of these players involved, both sides of the ball, resulting in a fantastic goal.
Corbin Bone's 4th goal on the year, his first since May 5th. And he is on the pitch with Lindsey Patterson.
Well, what was going through your mind when you knocked it in?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, at the end of the game, if you can find that extra goal, it's an extra cushion, because it's always crazy near the end. And, when you get those chances, you got to finish them. And thankfully, we put it in, so it gave us a little cushion. It was nice. 13
unbeaten right now. It was a physical match out there in the first and second half. What does it say about this team's toughness?
Yeah, it's great. I don't think we've beaten them at home before, so to get a win against them, they're a good team in this league and they're a physical team. So to find a win against them it means a lot.
Oh, enjoy this win, Corbin.
All right.
All right, thank you, Lindsey. It's now been 924 minutes since the Orange and Blue have trailed in a match in 9-0-4 over the 13-match streak. Hard to believe the home stretch comes to an end, but FC Cincinnati gets their 15th win on the season. We'll step aside, take a break. We'll show you all the highlights when we return. The Orange and Blue win 3-0. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer. A party-like atmosphere here at Nippert Stadium tonight as the Orange and Blue will clap the fans on a lap around the pitch. FC Cincinnati victorious 3-0 at home, and a big smile for Manu Ledesma, who tallies the game winner, his 11th goal of the season. It's time for the Toyota post-match highlights, and it was Manu Ledesma, Kev, getting it started for FC Cincinnati in the 22nd minute.
And the most impressive thing, again, Tommy, it starts from his defensive hard work. Great awareness once he wins it back. Looks up, sees the goalkeeper off his line, and we've seen it so many times where he's bent that ball into the top corner. Great way to start the game.
So it's 1-0 FC Cincinnati, and then the passing we showed you moments ago ends up setting up Corbin Bone.
I think it's a great team goal, just understanding good movement, and Corbin Bone, very cool, calm, collected, puts him up 2-0.
That's where we stood at the half. FC Cincinnati created a lot of opportunities in the second half. This ended up being an own goal and made it 3-0.
And this, again, just the production of understanding, being able to be on the same page, continue with the run. Doesn't matter that it's an own goal. It's an impressive build-up play, and again, that ends up being a killer. 3-0, very impressive, convincing performance.
You heard it when Lindsey was chatting with Alan Koch. He said that he told his team at halftime it was some of the best football he had seen from his club in the past few weeks, and I don't think there's any question about that. That's what they needed tonight to defeat this Charleston side.
I think, really, when I look back, May 19th against North Carolina, FC Cincinnati win 4-1. That was a convincing result at Nippert. This is the next best thing I've seen from this team at Nippert Stadium. And I think, again, they've only scratched the surface, Tommy. I think they've still got more in them, especially adding Adi, Fateh Lashe. These players, again, will bring them to that next level, and hopefully we continue to see it in the last third of the season.
Well, win number 15 in the books. The Orange and Blue now 15-3-6, and they snapped an unbeaten streak that Charleston brought in and sat at 11. Once again, your final score from Nippert Stadium. FC Cincinnati 3, Charleston Battery 0. Our next broadcast of USL Soccer comes your way Wednesday. FC Cincinnati will be on the road at Atlanta United 2. We'll have all the action for you beginning at 7 p.m. For Kevin McCloskey, birthday girl Lindsay Patterson, and our producer Mike Bacon, I'm Tom Glitter saying good night and thanks for tuning in to FC Cincinnati.
Telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.